Oh, yeah. I made my choice. Fucking radio. You know who made that choice for me? TV and movies. And how fucked up is this? I'm in, like, your old studio interviewing you.
This is nuts.
Huh? What?
You just can't ever tell what's going on or what's going to happen. Because, yeah, I'm sitting in the old studio I used to be in when you used to come in. And now it's like, fuck, it doesn't...
And you look happier than me.
Yeah.
You know, come on, folks. Anthony Cumia, the fucking legend. Monday through Thursday, him and Artie Lange have a killer podcast, 4 to 6 p.m. Go to compoundmedia.com and hit him up at Anthony Cumia XYZ. That's when you know you've been really blackballed on a social media scene. You got to throw an XYZ on the end of that.
Dude, I figured at 3 letters a clip, I could get thrown off of Twitter for a few more times and still just put 3 more letters. Because, yeah, my Anthony Cumia one, I got persona non grata.
For what?
Much like here at Sirius XM, where they wouldn't let me upstairs.
Jesus Christ.
I'm Mohammed Atta.
I know. We could have got one of the fucking guys from 9/11 in here. He's here.
Yes, yeah. I think he's doing the show over at Shade. I think that's his...
Shade would be the studio next door.
Yes.
It looks like the Pistons locker room, is what I'm saying. I'm sure they're good fellas, but...
Yeah, a little hip-hop going on. A little hip-hop going on.
I would love to wander in there and just go, how do you guys feel about Men Without Hats? That's one of my favorite albums, the groups. So, all night, for the last 2 nights, we could have used you because it's been nothing about other than gun talk.
It's all guns.
I talked about you, before we brought you up here, the last segment, going, fucking Anthony knows all this shit.
It's all about guns now, gun control, and then the news and liberals. I'm sorry, I came out of my mouth immediately. Liberals, right?
Yeah, but what?
They fucking don't educate themselves on anything that they seem to be so passionate about. At least know how a gun works.
No,
before you want to ban it.
Because all their arguments, whether it's guns, race, whatever, is emotion based.
It's all emotional.
It's all emotion based.
Yeah.
So they're not going to know.
They're not going to learn.
Can I? Now let me ask you a question. Am I going to be able to get a bump stock within the next? Should I buy them all tonight?
Let me tell you something. You will not get one in New York. You're not allowed to have. First of all,
what did I say to you?
You said, yeah.
You're not allowed, and you can't even buy a gun that a bump stock would go on in New York anymore.
Are you fucking kidding?
You're not allowed to buy an AR-15, AK-47, any semi-automatic rifle with a magazine that goes into it and a
I can't
pistol
get an
grip.
AR-15?
You cannot buy an AR-15 in the state of New York.
Could I go to Pennsylvania and bring it into New York?
Well, you could go to Pennsylvania. The second you go to bring it into New York, that's it. If you had one
before
they passed this law, before Cuomo at midnight signed this law without any debate or anything that no longer have assault weapons in New York State, unless you had one before then, that's it. If you owned one,
when did he sign that?
He signed it probably 4 years ago, and that was it. All of a sudden, if you didn't have an AR-15, you were not going to get one in New York State. And a bump stock, forget about that. Although I'll give you a little secret. All you got to do.
I was going to say, I know you know how to weld.
You gotta do.
I know you know how to weld.
Oh, yeah. No, you don't even have to.
No.
Take your AR-15, right? You put your thumb through your side belt loop. I'm not kidding. Now you grab the pistol grip of the AR and the trigger. Push as far forward as you can. The kick of the gun will make it hit your trigger finger every time it fires, which then makes it seem like a full automatic. Your thumb in a belt loop is all you need for a bump stock.
I wear suspenders, so I can't do that.
If Larry King wanted to wipe out a bunch of people, he too could suspend her.
Hello, Tom on my front lawn. How the fuck?
Oh, it's amazing.
How did you? Wait a minute. Did you come up with that? Or somebody you read that? Or?
No, my dad showed me years ago.
What the fuck's your dad, Rambo?
He was crazy with guns. He loved guns, but one thing he always taught us was like safety. But it was safety.
That sounds it. Put your thumb through a pant loop.
But it was safety in. Yeah. He used to take a shotgun shell. You know, shotgun shells.
And put Regat cheese in it.
Regat. Where's the Regat, Tony? Hey, did a fucking shotgun shell, you son of a bitch. Go ahead. He would take a shotgun shell and take a pocket knife and cut it right above the brass. Now, usually when you fire a shotgun shell, a bunch of pellets come out and a little piece of wadding comes out or whatnot.
Right.
But This, when you now shot it, because you cut it around the brass, this entire lead ball encased in the shotgun shell plastic would fly out of the barrel like a howitzer. It was like it was.
Man came up.
Oh yeah, he's like, yeah, check this out. It's great. We call it a hot load or some shit. I don't know, hot load. Hey, Dad. Yeah, the only hot load you want to be taking. Yeah, so he showed me a bunch of stuff, but that kind of way to make a semi-automatic seem like an automatic, and that's what this asshole fuck did in.
That's what he did
in Vegas.
Yeah,
He had every gun he had was legally purchased.
Right.
He passed the background check. There was nothing in his background, so all this we need this and that wouldn't have stopped unless you deny free Americans their right to bear arms. This will happen. It's part of the freedoms that we have. And unfortunately, people are free to be fucking murderers. Sometimes it's terrible. But when we get compared to other nations, and it's like, well, this doesn't happen here. Well, they don't have the fucking freedoms we have here.
Right. First of all, no. And half the countries they're talking about have 1/10 the population, and they have different demographics, if you know what I'm saying.
Exactly. And how come we could we have something like this happen, and all of a sudden they just want to legislate and take everything away from legal, law-abiding citizens? Yet in England, when we're compared to England all the time, but remember what the mayor said about terrorism? Well, it's part and parcel living in a community now. Well, it's part and parcel to living in a free society.
Great fucking
where
point.
Everyone is entitled to protect themselves with the best tool available, a gun. There's going to be fucking maniacs that do this shit.
Right.
I'm sorry, but
it's not going to keep me from going to ball games.
Right, exactly.
I don't give a shit.
I'm going fucking Yankee Sunday.
Why wouldn't you?
Right?
How funny if you get
it's crazy.
How funny if you got sprayed though with fucking...
Oh my God! Or some drone fucking flies over and drops some C4 in my section.
Just some asshole in the Red Sox hat. And it's Cumia. He's a Yankee fan. Ping, ping.
Dude, I was ping, pow. I was thinking the other day because OJ got out of prison.
Yes,
and he stayed in Vegas. Like he woke up.
I didn't know that.
He woke up the next morning.
What,
after
he go to fucking the MGM Grand to play craps? You can't take the out of the
Yeah, no shit. So he had this problem. Of course, we all know he spent 9 years in prison. He gets out, and then he woke up and his lawyer calls him. He goes, "What's happening on the news? What's all this?" It's like, yeah, some guy shot a bunch of people. It's like, oh, that's. But imagine the irony if OJ was walking around his first night out of prison and this fuck shot him in the head. How fucking people would have to label it bittersweet. I really think.
That would prove there is a God. So that's why this prick will be alive till he's 150.
No shit. Fucking OJ.
Let's go to our buddy Leonard in Georgia. He's probably,
Leonard.
You know Leonard?
I know George.
Leonard, want to hear a Southern accent? Yeah. Leonard, he wants to say hi to you. He knows you.
All right.
Go ahead, Leonard. Say hi to Anthony.
What do you say, Ant? I miss you on the radio, brother. I really do. Hey, Nick, how are you doing this evening?
Good.
Also?
Thank you, Leonard.
Where's Sheriff Branford?
I'll say one thing, Ann. I wanted to ask you. I don't know if you remember, years ago, you took thousands of calls, but I called up and I actually found and got my neighbor's father in trouble when I found a dead body in the freezer.
Wow, you were that guy. I actually do remember this because it was kind of a weird story. Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, that was me.
How'd that work out for you?
You don't sound like a Gambino.
Well, it was Clearwater, Florida. I hear they have.
That is quite a psychopathic little area. Yeah. Well,
anyway, Nick, both of y'all were all talking about guns and whatnot, but I just wanted to say hi to Aunt, and I've been a big fan. I want to say one thing, though. Honestly, you on the radio, on your show, you really were someone who, how can I say this? It makes sense. No, you were someone that made me really, really see, all the fake news and whatnot.
Yeah.
You were calling that years and years ago. You was calling them bullshit.
And it got me thrown off the fucking radio. That's what good that did me. I should have kept my mouth shut, smiled, and said diversity is our greatest strength.
You really enlightened me on that. And also, the thing you ruined for me was terrestrial radio, because when you used to do that bit about where the morning zoo cruise all across
Jocktober,
they're idiots.
which, by the way, it is October, and what we should do, Jocktober over at Compound Media. It's all the hacky friggin' morning shows where they got the guy, the professional jock, the woman who we always called the hole. Because not only is she a girl with a hole, she's just a hole for comedy, a black hole of,
that's
of
not
nothingness.
nice to call a girl. First
It's
of all, they
terrible.
have 2 holes. You're selling her
They do.
short.
Well, even more if you really want to, you know.
3. What am I saying? I do. Oh, this girl, she broke her jaw. I wasn't even. She had it wired.
She had a wired shut. It was the greatest 6 months of my life. I could actually watch a TV
All right,
show.
Leonard. Thank you. Thank you for the call, Leonard.
There goes Leonard. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. I'll let him
He's
say.
bound and down, looted up and trucking.
Goodness gracious.
That's great, man.
Colin has a question for Ant, a story that you might know. Go ahead, Colin.
Hey, it's Joe Matarese. Let me roast it for $50, Anthony, please.
What the fuck? There
Hey,
is
tell me on your show. It's Joe Matarese. Hey.
obviously he's got an issue with Joe Matarese.
Yeah.
I've
Actually,
seen a
it
few
is
of
Joe
these.
Matarese.
Oh wow! Hey Joe,
doing
how
himself.
you doing? How you doing, Joe?
Let me roast it for $50, please.
I think this
Thanks.
guy called my show once as Joe Matarese too.
Pretty good.
Yeah, he just
pretty good.
The Joe Matarese. You got, when you do impressions, though, don't you have to do people know?
Yeah. Well, Matarese is big in the New
Joe.
Rochelle area. All right, thank you, Colin. That was a beauty.
There he is.
I love, and you know, we got to get Matarese back. He's a good family guy, and
He's such a nice
he
guy.
is, and you know, he's funny. I used to bring him on my podcast.
Yeah.
I'm ranting and raving about race and shit, and he goes, "My wife and I bought a couch."
Yeah,
you know, and I'm like, well,
yes.
I hope there was a dead black or white guy under the couch to make this story interesting.
he's just a nice guy, you know.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
And he's a funny fucking dude. And he has this, you know, he's been on medication for quite a while.
Little medication. He made the mistake once of wanting to do a live show at the Village Underground and record it as his podcast live, but the guests were myself, Jim Norton, and Artie Lange. And it got so out of control, and he was the punching bag of the night. And he got done. He's like, well, it was a terrible idea. Why did I do that? I wasted film and time and money. Yeah, so that's been like kind of the thing that people, like, I want to roast. I'll roast you.
He asked me to do, when he first started the pod, he was going to do one of his first live podcasts. We would do it down in some small room. I think it was at Gotham downstairs. And he calls me like the night before, no tickets sold.
Oh, shit.
I said, well, that's a lot for both of us, isn't it?
Yeah. Welcome. Welcome aboard.
Oh, I can't stand this fucking business. I like this, but honest to God.
Yeah.
You know, I've always loved this.
I gotcha.
You know?
I know.
I do. This is... People go, do you go do sets after your show? No. I do 2 hours by myself trying to be funny off the top of my... And it scratches that comedy itch for me.
That's what you need.
You might not see me. I'll still show up, folks. If I... Don't get me wrong. If I can fill a theater and I can pick up a check, I'm going to show up.
Yeah.
But I'm not... Don't look for me to be doing polished bits anymore that I got to go to a 1 hour special. I will show up and fucking insult every liberal cocksucker in the audience and their fat girlfriends. And, we'll have fun. But...
There's nothing more fun than sitting at a table watching Nick and planting your elbow on the table and then planting your face into your hand and just going, holy shit, he just said that. It's fantastic.
Anthony has been at Governor's many times.
I love it.
And the brokerage and just fucking sitting there. And I'm playing to him. I don't even know there's anybody else in the room. I'm playing to Anthony. And meanwhile, people are filing out the back.
It's Long Island, so you got a lot of people commiserating with you on Long Island.
Yes, that is true.
Me. It's part of how I am for now, is growing up on Long Island.
Let's go to let's go to JT in Florida. He owns 28 guns, and he has some insight on this shit.
Okay.
So you and JT have you have 120 guns less than Anthony.
This cut shell is what you're thinking about, Anthony. Cut shells, a shotgun shell.
Yeah.
Where you cut it, and I actually live in South Georgia, but I lived in Florida for a while. I have 3 AKs, 6 ARs, and those. I'm not kidding. And I have every Wonder 9 you can think of.
Yeah, all that.
I don't have a bump stock, and I don't have one of those damn Surefire 100 round magazines because they're not worth a shit.
Dude,
they
they jam up before you get
They're
as many
horrible.
around, you can't get 30 rounds out of them before they jam. So you might as well just have a 30-round mag. They're terrible
Exactly.
magazines. I think
Use
a lot
your
of ghetto
belt loop.
trash. Yeah, put your thumb in your belt loop and then let her rip. In New York, you
Way
literally
better.
are allowed 10 rounds now, and it looks so castrated. You have your
10
rifle.
rounds?
You have your rifle. You slap a magazine in, and you know the big banana clips that you usually
That's
see
not a magazine,
30-round
that's a
mag?
brochure.
It is. You could barely see it. It's in there just going, oh, good. They've friggin' emasculated the guns now, too. Like the people, the
What about
men,
damn
the guns.
Tannerite?
What's that?
Talking about that.
What's that?
50 pounds of it. 50 pounds of Tannerite.
Oh, Tannerite's hilarious. The hillbillies love it.
The hell is that?
People down enjoy it. It's
Hey, I'm a hillbilly
I
fan.
know. I'm not. I wasn't meant to offensively, my friend. Tannerite's hilarious.
No.
It's explosives, and
Yeah,
it
it's,
goes off when you
it's a
shoot
little-
it.
Yeah.
So they'll put it on stuff and get away and shoot it and laugh their balls off. The funniest Tannerite I ever saw was a shitload of it in a field where they put food down so pigs would go up
Oh,
and
no.
eat. And then they shot the Tannerite. You see pigs flying through the air, and a bunch of guys just like, God damn, just
That's
laughing
why
their
I
balls
feel
off.
safe.
Yes,
Seriously,
There's
that's why
nothing wrong with that.
You're not going to have any no-go zones in fucking Georgia.
exactly.
See what I'm saying?
No safe places, spaces, no guns allowed zones.
You
Fuck that.
might get hit with a piece of pork shoulder.
Yeah, a piece of pig might hit you,
All right,
whether you're on a
JT.
date or.
Thanks for the call, JT.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. There's the hogs flying
Wait a
through the
minute.
air.
Rewind that.
They
Rewind that.
shot it
Rewind
with
that.
Tannerite. There it is. Oh my God! And it's legal. Tannerite's legal. Isn't that crazy?
I thought the pigs ate the Tannerite, then you shot the pig.
That would be great.
I think
I
that's
want to
even
see
better,
some,
isn't
some
it?
guy do that. Obviously, it was Tannerite in the World Trade Center. I know. I'm off the grid. I was a fighter, a governor, the salesman for My Pillow. Oh, I fucking love Jesse. Jesse's out of his mind now. He does a podcast, Jesse Ventura, and he's like constantly, I'm off the grid. Don't tell anyone as I broadcast to millions. Don't tell. I'm off the grid. I live in Mexico 6 months out of the year. It's hilarious. And his conspiracies and everything.
And before I forget, how's it going with Art?
That's right. Now, Nick, you worked with Artie.
Well, I have the battle scars to prove it. Look, I got track marks in my forearms. And
You get sympathy track marks.
Yes.
Like when guys get sympathy pains when their pregnant wife is having cravings and whatnot. You get sympathy track marks.
now, how is I haven't had I'm very busy.
Artie is, first and foremost for my show,
Yes.
is fucking hilarious. The guy is so
There's no
goddamn
arguing
funny.
that. There's no arguing
He's
that.
so funny.
He's a brilliant guy.
He's a nice guy. Like he's just like I just you see him and you just know there's something bugging him
Yeah.
about himself and stuff. But he's great to do the show with. I see him right when the show starts. He disappears right when the show stops. And that's my life with Artie. I've been out a couple of times with him at the Comedy Cellar and whatnot. And look, it's no secret. The guy's got his issues. But he's an amazing talent.
Tell the people the name of the show.
Artie and Anthony, the AA show, which makes perfect sense. The AA show. Yeah, well, if you can't beat them, mock them.
Let me ask you, Ian, so, as far as politics, because I know Artie, he's not like you and I.
No,
He's a
not.
Jersey, kind of a union, pro-union.
Knock around Jersey,
around.
funny jokes, stuff like that.
But he's
Not too serious.
But he's not. But my point is, he's not really like right wing that like people would think he's a blue collar.
No, no.
He's kind of that Jersey union.
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah.
Not a left winger, but
No, not at all. But I mean, yeah, not. But
Yep.
if you're comparing it to us,
Well, no.
But no. So I don't get into as many political rants as
I was gonna
I
say.
did, which some people have found refreshing. They were getting a little mad at me that I fucking discuss shit.
Oh, I know.
But
You too much on race.
yeah, but I have other outlets. I do Infowars over on. I do an
know.
hour on Thursdays. On Infowars, I take over for Alex on that, which is hilarious.
Now, what's your relationship with him?
He's
do you know him
amazingly
personally?
funny. No, really, More business than personal. I would love to hang out with him. He seems hilarious.
How did you find each other?
He
though?
kind of just liked what I was doing and liked the whole free speech angle.
Which he should.
I was a guest on his show a couple of times, and then he's like, "You want to come on and do my show for me, an hour? Just talk about globalists, talk about fluoride in the water being terrible, contrails of airplanes, how the globalists are using the Jew and the black man to undermine God-fearing American white people." And I'm like, I think I could do that. So that's pretty much it.
He's pretty brilliant
False
guy,
flag
isn't he?
operation, obviously like the Gulf of Tonkin back in the Vietnam War, when we were dragged into that debacle by the globalists. And I'm like, this is fucking awesome.
I saw him. I watched like YouTube clips of him. Like he'll go down to some rally with a bunch of libs and get in their face.
He gets involved, which is weird.
Guys want to get physical with him and shit. I gotta fucking love that, man.
People are trying to get him to say things that he might have said a few years ago.
Exactly.
And he'll turn around and say something like, they're putting chemicals in the water that turn the frogs gay. And you're like, that is fucking hilarious. He's talking about frogs being turned gay by the water. What do you think that does to your kids, people? Wow, this guy's fucking gone. I love it.
Makes them beat up frogs.
Yeah.
That's what does to my kids.
My 6-year-old frog is gender fluid, and I believe I'm going with that. I had Owen on the show today. Now look.
Owen who?
Brain freeze.
Owen Benjamin?
Owen Wilson. Yeah, no, it was Owen Benjamin. Yes, Owen Benjamin.
Owen Wilson?
No, Owen Benjamin.
Who's Owen Benjamin?
Owen Benjamin.
I just
a comic.
threw that out. That's
Did you?
right.
It really is Owen Benjamin.
Yeah, that's right.
But he got in trouble. They removed him from the bill. He was supposed to play at UConn and do a show. He's a comic.
Right wing.
And he said, imagine the outrage at someone saying this, that a 3-year-old child should probably not be given steroids and hormones if they want to change their sexuality at 3, and that perhaps that's a form of child abuse. And they lost their the left.
Yeah.
And you're transphobic. Really?
You know what?
Believe it?
Yeah. And the left's reaction to something like that causes transphobia and homophobia.
Of course it does.
You understand? You're cutting your own throats. You turn to guys like me who aren't homophobic at all.
It's like you're an asshole.
What? You made a face? No. No, seriously, you're a fucking asshole.
It's true.
You're a fucking You're a liberal fascist.
So we got a letter from UConn that said,
you're not welcome.
We're not gonna. People don't appreciate that. It's like he gave an opinion.
There you go.
That, by the way, 99.9% of sane fucking people would agree with.
Right.
You don't. Because you're literally sterilizing a child, is what you're doing. At 3, because one day they want to be a fireman, the next day they want to be an astronaut, the next day they want to be a woman, and you run with the woman thing as a parent.
No, exactly.
Buy him a spacesuit.
What? We only get like a minute left. What? But what is this agenda with protecting LGBT? It's stronger than anything else out there. They make up about 8% of the total population.
At most.
I don't understand. I don't understand whose agenda it is and why they're so protected.
It's to break down every single thing
nuclear
that
family,
has made this country what
great.
it is.
I agree.
And what it's all about, what it's supposed to be about. Break that down. Rip the families apart. The perps are the victims now. The cops are the criminals. Like, rip it all apart.
You're absolutely right.
And that's where we are. So 3-year-olds are supposed to now get sex change.
Christ's sake. Everybody knows you wait till they're 5 or 6.
If I was here any longer, Nick, we'd both be banging our heads against the fucking wall.
If you were here any longer, I won't be able to get in the building tomorrow for my own show. That's the fucking legend, Anthony Cumia. Thanks to all the callers tonight.
Nick.
Tomorrow night, Keith Robinson, my one black friend who's still alive, and we'll bust his chops. And listen to Art and Anthony Thursday 4 to 6. Go to compoundmedia.com.
Monday through Thursday, yes.
Monday through Thursday, I'm sorry. 4 to 6. compoundmedia.com and hit Anthony up. Anthony Cumia XYZ on Twitter.
Thanks.
All right. We'll talk to you guys later. Wash those filthy asses. Bye-bye.